Welcome to Just Hoops. In today's video, we're going to talk about the legend, Chris Bosh, the 11-time All-Star, 2-time NBA champ, Olympic Gold Medalist, and now Hall of Famer. Chris Bosh was one of the greatest to ever play the game, in my opinion. He went out there on a nightly basis and attacked the game with a great mentality, great effort, and was just an overall high-energy winner. In his time in Toronto, he dominated as a 4 and 5 man, just going out there, scoring, and being the number one option on a team that struggled mightily. And then he went to Miami in the 2010 offseason to join LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and become a big three. There, he was the glue guy. He was one of the guys that was able to be there, be an integral and necessary piece to winning championships. And to end his career, it was cut short due to blood clots. But at the end of the day, Chris Bosh epitomized what it meant to be a champion and go out there and give great effort and energy every day. So now to dive into his game a little bit more. These are his stats throughout his career. He was an efficient scorer from all three levels, had really good effective field goal percentage, and was able to impact the game on the glass and as a playmaker. But this video, we're going to dive into his post-scoring ability, so these stats matter a little bit more. He shot 50.6 from two-point land. Around 30% of his shots came from the mid-range, 10 to 16 feet. He shot just around 42% from that range, and from 16 to three-point land, he shot 45%. Chris Bosh was really good in the mid-post and really good as a post presence and post scorer throughout his career. And in this video, we're going to dive into some things that he did that made him special in the post. So first, let's talk about the post fade, which became a huge part of his scoring ability later in his career, but was huge throughout. You can see in all these clips that he does a great job at being quick, getting his feet down, playing in space. But now let's dive into these clips a little bit more. In this clip here against the Clippers, you can see he does a great job at getting that back foot set and down, allowing him to rise up and elevate off of that back foot. And then here against the old Clippers, you can see the same thing. He gets that back foot down quick, allowing him to also create space from the defense. Now you'll see here that there's another element to his feet. His feet aren't squared. He does a good job at just getting them down and being able to elevate and turn in the air, separating his shoulders from his feet. He doesn't always have to stay square, stay robotic. It allows him to flow, have the ability to create space, and the ability to shoot over a contest. This move was huge later in his career, definitely, and it was more of a finesse move to avoid contact. Early in his career, he liked contact a lot more. So later end of his career, he'd go to this post fade pretty often, but he did a really good job at creating space with quick feet, separating his upper body from his feet, finding the rim early, and lastly, just finishing high on his release. This last clip here against Brooklyn, you can see he was able to dance with it, put it on the ground, snap it, shimmy, and get into that post fade. But now let's talk about a spin move that was crucial, especially early in his career. So when it comes to the spin move in the post, it's especially crucial in mid-post situations where you're attacking downhill, but let's dive into the details a little bit more. You can see he does a great job at getting his lead foot and lead shoulder around the defender, allowing there to be space and also just the ability to have options. You'll see here in this clip against Sacramento, he gets it in a mid-post situation, attacks the outside shoulder, and makes that contact on the inside. He's spinning to the outside and he initiates contact with his inside shoulder. But then he gets that lead foot and shoulder around the defender, creating space for the finish. In this clip here, you'll also see that he's able to do it with a back to the basket position. He'll feel up the defender and drop step. It's the same footwork whether you're spinning in the mid post or spinning off of a post catch. That ability to get the lead foot and lead shoulder is crucial to a great spin. Now let's talk about Chris Bosh's hook shot. I think his hook shot was one of the more underrated post moves throughout his career, but it's definitely a huge part of his success throughout his time in the league. You'll see here that his running hook was phenomenal, but it was due to his ability to really create contact on that bounce. That ability to get that shoulder into the defender, push them off a little bit, create them off balance, allowed him to have more space to rise up. And then secondly, you can see whether it's off of 1 or 2 feet, he's on balance. The 1 foot landing on these running hooks, he really stuck that foot and allowed him to elevate. And lastly, we'll talk about this more, but the elevation on his hook shot. This clip does a great job at displaying that. He gets the ball very high over the defense, makes it very hard to contest with his size and length, and it was huge to his success in doing this move. He was able to consistently get the ball up and over the defense. He did a great job at using the off arm, off hand as a blockade against the defense. But to break it down a little bit again, first, it's to have great feet, be on balance, and have the ability to accept and create contact. Secondly, a high release. And lastly, to protect yourself from the defense with the offhand and arm. And now let's talk about his face-up game, which was a staple throughout his career as a mid-post and mid-range scoring threat. First things first, his patience was incredible. He was able to catch the ball, allow people to cut, move around him, play in space, and he just played with that. When he had the ball in these situations in the mid-post, his ball fakes, his jabs, really made the defense work or fall asleep, allowing him to rise up into a shot or attack. His triple threat positioning, everybody talks about it, but he did a great job of keeping the ball away from the defense, being able to get into his jumper from the weak side pocket, from the strong side pocket. That goes back to also his post fade. But lastly, as a triple threat decision maker, he was able to attack off the bounce. If the defense got into him a little bit, he'd keep them solid and drive by them, make a move on the bounce. But overall, his ability to do everything in the mid-post, from passing, shooting, and attacking off the bounce, made him so special for so long. Just some key takeaways from Chris Bosh's post-scoring ability. It requires great patience, great footwork, the ability to use and accept contact as an advantage, and just have a move or two to go to that you're comfortable with that could have some variety, some counters, and that'll make you very hard to guard in these situations. But to conclude this video, Chris Bosh, the Hall of Famer himself, the NBA champion, the Olympic Gold Medalist, the All-Star, is one of my favorite players to ever watch playing this game. He was a huge part of my love for the game of basketball, and it was really fun to dive into his ability to score in the post, the variety in his game, his skill set was fun to watch, and I hope that this video showed what it takes to be an elite mid-post and low-post scorer. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we will catch you in the next one.